So welcome to another career mode video. Today we're talking about the things I hate in FC24 career mode. While there's a lot of good elements in career mode, there's also a couple bad ones as well. This is one of my favorite videos to make every year because I get to vent and I get to release some of that frustration that I have with this game mode. We're going to talk about the things EA can do better. If you do enjoy the video, please leave a like for me and make sure you subscribe for more FC24 content. So the first one is going to be about players' real manager. I do like this feature in the game if the manager has a real face, and obviously Arteta does, and there's a few other Premier League managers that do as well. But when you've got managers that don't have a real face, like Postecoglou, it looks kind of bad. I don't see the point of putting a manager here that doesn't have his real face. You know, they've got Postecoglou here, but he looks no better than a guy I could create on the Creator Manager section. Then you've got generic Ten Hag here. Instead of Eric Ten Hag, it's generic Ten Hag this year. So yeah, like I said, if they've got the proper face, of course, go ahead, use this feature. But if they don't, what's the point? I might as well just go and create my own guy. And then you've got much more limitations here in different leagues. Look at this. In the French league, there's only one manager, Luis Enrique, and that's not even his face anyway. So what's the point in picking him? Even the Bundesliga, only one manager, and a couple ones from India, but most of them are generic as well. I don't really like this feature if the manager doesn't have a real face, so hopefully they can add more in the future. But for most of these managers here, they've all got fake faces. What's the point in keeping them as options here to select if the only thing that's real about them is their 2D portrait photo in the box there, in the square? Doesn't make any sense. I don't know. The next thing I need to rant about is the goalkeeper kits in Creator Club. But first off, let's take a look at some of the designs available for a home kit. You've got Adidas licensed jerseys you can put on your players. Umbro as well. Nike also available there. Hummel, New Balance. You can see how we've got different official brands that exist in the world. And it's the same thing for the away kits as well. You've got the same designs and brands again. And then you've got the third kit, same brands and designs once again. But then you go to the goalkeeper kits, and it's like, what happened here? These are $5 generic jerseys you get from Walmart, and they're not branded, they're not licensed. I don't understand what's going on here. It just ruins the whole look of the jerseys, the kits, because you've got these official branded kits on your team on the field. Then you take a look at your goalkeeper, and he's rocking a jersey that you would put on if you left your proper kit at home. They could easily just throw in some Nike Adidas kits. I don't know why they can't do it. I just don't understand. EA this year said that you could get sponsors on your kits in Creator Club, and this is what we got. Frostbite Engine logos, Electronic Arts logos, and EAFC logos, Hypermotion included as well. Why are these considered sponsors in career mode? I don't understand. Couldn't they just create some sort of fake pizza shop? Fake, I don't know, sports shop or something? They could come up with so many fake companies to put on these kits, and you could use them in Creator Club. Instead, all we got was a Frostbite Engine logo. This does not entice me to put on a sponsored kit. It doesn't make any difference for me. I might as well just put on a proper Puma jersey than to get one of these generic EA branded jerseys that feature their own kit sponsor. There's no other way you can put sponsors on different kinds of jerseys. You're just stuck with the EA generic kits. I had a different idea for this feature. I would like to see what they did in FIFA 08, where you had proper sponsors and you would select them. They would pay you if you hit certain objectives. And then you would also see maybe the name on the jerseys as well. They could easily do that. There's so many companies you can just create using your imagination, and instead all we got was a Frostbite Engine logo on a jersey. Another thing I don't like in career mode is the fact that there's no proper stadium creator or upgrades feature. Pretty much you do get some sort of stadium customization if your club is in Creator Club or if it's got a generic stadium in the game. But there's not much more you can do besides change the color of the seats and the grass design and a couple little things here and there like the atmosphere. I would love to see a proper stadium creator where you start from scratch, you can place buildings around the stadium, you can put different stands. You know what I'm talking about, those features that other games have out there, where you can build something from scratch. Even if they don't want to put out a full-on stadium creator, you could at least give us the ability to upgrade different stands and different parts of the sections of the stadium. Alright, so we're back on New Star Manager, I believe, and we've got a stadium here, and as you can see, we've got the stand thing that you can upgrade, and as you pass each level, it costs, I think, coins to upgrade them. Obviously, this is where we need to head to, you know, because it would be nice to have something that's so grassroots when you start, but then you're working your way up to a mad stadium at the end of it. I think that would be good in terms of like longevity for the game mode and stuff. Even the grass, you can start off with this really bad pitch and then upgrade to something magical. So hopefully we can get there one day, but free games are already doing this thing. The only way at the moment to upgrade your stadium is to change stadiums by going from Longville to maybe Union Park the next year, and then you go up to a bigger stadium like this one. The problem is you're not keeping your same stadium and working on upgrading it. You're just moving on to a different stadium, which is still generic and probably in a whole different location, which doesn't make sense if you think about it. But it is what it is. I would love to have a full-on stadium creator in the game one day and an upgrade feature. So this started in FIFA 23, but it still annoys me this year because it hasn't changed. I don't like the fact that you don't get any preseason money if you don't win the tournament. These days when you do the preseason tournament, you have to actually win the tournament in order to get some sort of prize money. It never used to be like that. In this case, we didn't win the preseason. You have to come first, obviously. But if we go and check our inbox here, we'll get the confirmation that we didn't get any prize money. It says, we all agree it's unfortunate that we didn't win the European International Cup. The most important thing though is that the team is fit and ready to start the new season. We still have every confidence in your ability to meet this season's sporting objectives. A few years ago in FIFA 22 and before, you could get prize money even if you didn't win, and that prize money used to go towards your transfer budget, which was always a good thing because you need extra money to buy players. This year you don't get that unless you win. I wish they would change it. As you can see, no prize money there. This was FIFA 22 career mode. As you can see, we came last in the preseason tournament. We didn't even make it out of the groups. Once I went into my inbox, you could see we got an email with additional transfer budget of 1.1 million. Even for coming last, that's still decent money to add to the transfer budget. Even if you didn't want to play preseason, you could just select one and then simulate the games and you would still pick up a bit of money, which is what I did most of the time anyway. Another thing I hate in career mode are those day one bugs that ruin the whole experience. Every year it seems like there's something that ruins career mode on day one, and this year is no different. We've got another game breaking bug. Start a career mode with any kind of manager here and click advance. Once you get into the save, you have to obviously select your tactical vision, and a part of that is also picking your coaches as well after that. So you get the list of coaches, you have to look at which one you want. Now let's say you wanted to go to team strategy and release some coaches. You go to coach management, you click on whichever coach you want to release, and you press the triangle button. The game starts to crash the moment you press that release button. As you can see, I can't change from no to yes, so the game's already crashed. And how is this even possible in career mode? Don't they test this out before they release this kind of stuff? I'm sure they're aware of it. I'm sure there's a fix coming soon, but who knows when. On day one, this is not the experience people need when they play career mode. Every year there's something that breaks career mode, and this year's no different once again. At the moment, at the time of recording, it looks like you can't even fire your coaches anymore. EA just disabled that option altogether. So the moment you sign a coach, he's with you forever. You can't get rid of him because there's no option to release him. Until the next patch comes out, they've disabled this whole feature. Don't they test this stuff out? I still don't understand who plays this game before it releases. Surely someone would have seen that releasing a coach in career mode would crash the game. One thing I want to talk about is face updates not applying to existing saves in career mode still. If you would have started a career mode on day one or even a few days after that, Zinchenko did not have a real face in the game. And the other day EA released a squad update that did add in some faces and updated some missing faces in the game. And I'm only using Zinchenko as an example here. There's other players as well. But you can see once you've started a new career mode save and downloaded the latest squads, you would get the real Zinchenko face back in the game. I don't like this thing. I think there's got to be a way to apply new face updates into existing saves. Even for managers with real faces, you would have to start a new save to get them in career mode as well. It's just the way it is. Unfortunately, it's been like that since as long as I can remember. But it just means that it's never the perfect time to start a new career mode because there's always face updates and new faces getting added around the corner.